Hi there, welcome to the National Football Youth League Trophy Final here at Cobham in Surrey between Chelsea Foundation and West Ham United Foundation. The teams are just about to come out, ready to go, so we'll go through the starting lineups. First of all, Chelsea. In goal we've got number 1, Dan Steadman, number 2, Toby Neal, number 3, Bashir Breyer, number 4, Harrison Jewell, number 5, Josh Story, number 6, Andreas Calera Stain, number 7, Kieran Rowe, 8, Josh Winwork, number 9, Alex Wharton, number 10, George Tucker, number 11, Alfie Flack. And for West Ham, in goal, number 1, Logan Morrissey, number 2, George Unwin, number 3, Michael Reed, 4, Kane Gilbert, number 5, Jaden Randall, number 6, James Hegarty, number 7, Joe Elliott, number 8, Lewis Young, 9, Brandon Wood, number 10, Kai Weston, and 11,
Obi Malefi.
So the team's coming out to line up on an absolutely glorious day here at Cobham. Sun's beating down. Just wonder what part the heat and the conditions might play today. So, footage being brought to you by Technical Sports Solutions, powered by Coach Logic. My name's Tom Shanks, and I'm pleased to introduce my colleague commentating today, a former student on a football education programme, John Hope.
Hello everyone, thank you for having me. What a beautiful day for a game of football. Can't wait to see how this turns out.
Me and you both, John, should be really good. Me and you have had the pleasure of having a look throughout the season at both of these teams with our work with Fulham Foundation and also with Tottenham Hotspur BSC. If you had to nudge either way before kick-off, do you have a favourite in mind at the minute?
I'm going to sit on the fence here, Tom. I'm going to call a very, very cagey first half. It's a final. The surface is absolutely glorious. I'm expecting a very tense, cautious approach from both sides. But as we get into the second half, we will slowly see that game open up with the weather as well. Tired legs will play a part. But if I'm going to say West Ham for this one, Tom.
Okay. Well, it's been really good to actually follow the journeys these two have been on throughout. A couple of really good games in the build-up to the final. And I think, for me, my observations of the teams working, obviously, across the league so far this season would be that Chelsea are hard to break down. Generally don't concede a lot of goals, and they certainly haven't throughout their league campaign as well. Had a few shutouts. So that is almost the perfect antidote to West Ham's prolific attack, because they're actually really big scorers, in fact netting 9 in the second round of this competition against Crawley. So it should be a really good clash of styles, and yeah, it really is a 50-50 tie.
Yeah, just to touch on that goal scoring record from West Ham, Brandon Wood up front won the NYFL Golden Boot, so he's one that Chelsea have got to really keep quiet if they're going to have any chance of getting something out of the game.
Okay, so thanks again for the National Football Youth League and Chelsea Foundation for having us here today. Brilliant setting. We were working on the production at Burton Albion for the corresponding fixture last year, and I had a classic between Burton and West Bromwich Albion Foundation, which ended 3-2. To be fair, John, if it's half as good as it that day, we're in for a treat, right?
Oh, absolutely. Attacking football on display that day was truly spectacular, so I'm hoping for something similar today.
Okay, well, as the teams are about to start, customary huddle for West Ham.
There's a lot of fresh haircuts out on that pitch today, Tom. You can tell they've been filmed.
Yeah, there's a couple on the tower as well, actually, come to think of it. Don't include myself in that, though. Right, here we go. West Ham to kick off, right to left first half. Wonder what advantage that will give them. Here we go. So Reed with a longer pass. Well up there, cleared by Kalega Stain. Good, first challenge. Kane Gilbert getting stuck in, and they've come away with the ball.
Straight away, Tom, you can see it's a very panicky start. You know, no team can just quite settle at the moment. You see the nerves perhaps playing a part. What we'll see is this gradual settle down. They'll get their rhythm. We should have a little bit of a better game.
Yeah, Steadman looks to settle the team down now. Just on that point, John, you're absolutely right. Good composure by the Chelsea defence there. Steadman goes long. Again, Reed clears. Neil into the middle. Okay, Chelsea open up now.
Just see West Ham look like they line up with a 4-4-2, and I think it's I'm going to say a 4-3-3 sort of formation for Chelsea. So I think straight away you can see with the two up top with West Ham, big direct sort of lads. You can see they're going to try and get from back to the front very quickly as possible. Whereas Chelsea perhaps a little bit more of a patient approach to this.
I think that's what we've kind of observed throughout the season with these two sides as well. I suppose if they'd done their homework, they would have watched each other's highlights on technicalsportsolutions.com and got a few insights into the opposition. But I think you're spot on there, John. I think we're going to see quite a direct approach from West Ham. As Chelsea break here, there's an opportunity to attack through Rowe. Bit lofty with the pass, and West Ham managed to clear up.
Look at that ball, straight up into the wind. Can that Chelsea defence deal with it?
Looking to settle it down in the middle now through Weston. Lovely turn. Lewis Young, good composure on the ball. Reed, who's seen quite a bit of the ball so far, now in an advanced position. Well defended by Jewell. Safety first.
It's worth noting that number 11 for West Ham, say, Obi Malefi, the youngest player out in that team, only 16 years of age. What a fantastic occasion for young man.
Absolutely, big game as well, big venue, big game. Because you get a real contrast in this league, don't you, with the ages of players, especially depending on where they are with their development physically. You can get the occasional mismatch here and there. West Ham looking dangerous, that's unlucky. Well worked, well defended though, Jewell again. And cleared into safety. I think West Ham looked to have settled slightly better, first couple of minutes at least. Brandon Wood, lovely ball over there. Looking quite dangerous. Will they get a foul there? Looks like it from up here. Referee's got a better view than I. Hegarty forward.
George Unwin, the right back for West Ham, says his twin brothers actually on the bench today too.
Jaden, get Louis over! Get Louis over!
Good ball over the back. Weston looking to cause a nuisance up there. Well defended by Bright. I think you were right about the cagey start. No one seems to have settled just yet, which is understandable, given the occasion and the event. Chelsea seem to be a bit more patient, as it were. Look like they're going up and in at the moment rather than playing out. I think it's just such a big game. You don't really want to take those gambles so early. Steadman with the kick then. Oh, Reed intercepted now. And forward come Chelsea through Rowe. Possibly trying to force that one there. Could have done with a shout of time there. West Ham clear. Kalega Stain. Well played into Toby Neal. Now they can take their time, pick their passes. Rowe and Neal combine well. Nice one-touch play. Tucker unlucky, trying to unlock the door. Again, West Ham quite direct through the flanks this time. Chelsea deal with it, the ball's not clear. Danger man Wood on the ball, lays it back to Gilbert. Steadman's there to tidy up. Looking to play early this time. Slices the kick slightly.
Just from that kick, Tom, you can see straight away maybe Chelsea just need to settle it down a little bit. They're trying to play into something they're not good at. Playing a little bit direct, they need to be patient, play through the thirds, and force West Ham a little bit back. West Ham have got absolutely, they feel very comfortable just getting that ball and forcing them 2 Chelsea defenders to combat in the air.
I mean, I covered Chelsea's game against Tottenham 3 weeks ago now, and I was really impressed with the way they approached the first half. Went in at 3-0 half time, and I think that was largely due to just enforcing the way they play on Spurs' first half. Really good game. 2-0 at half time. Ended up 3-2 overall. Spurs had a great second half, but certainly their philosophy is to be more patient. Free kick here for West Ham. Reed crosses it in. Well attacked and cleared there by Jewell. Unwin picks it up. Looking to attack down the right this time. Tidy from Gilbert there, linking well with Weston. And Unwin gets in behind. Well cleared there by Neil.
Superb defending there by Chelsea. You can see that straight onto Wood. Do not want to give him that time in the box. So he only needs one chance and he will score.
And here they are again. There's another example there, just slight nerves creeping into Chelsea at the minute. Dealing with it at the moment, just probably need to see the next few minutes out. I always think, when I was coached as a youngster, I was told make sure your next 3 things are good. If something doesn't go quite well, just to settle you into the game and into rhythm a bit more. Maybe Chelsea need to do that. Just play it safe. The next 3 things individually they need to do, settle themselves in, and build from there. Corner to West Ham. Chelsea leaving no one out. Everyone's in the box.
Storage winning everything in the air for Chelsea at the moment.
Yeah, very strong. Remember Fulham's game at Hotspur Park had a very strong performance that day as well. Swung in again, front post and cleared. Toby Neal that time, and that is a counter-attack on here. West Ham have numbers, but Alfie Flack down the left. He's got Kalega Stain tearing up the middle, but they're turned over.
Excellent work from West Ham there. 1 minute they're in the opposition's penalty box and then straight back, defending in numbers. Fantastic stuff.
Linesman's flag's up. Referee plays on though. Thought it was a throw rather than a foul at first. Jaden Randall does well. He's unlucky, and again that man's there. Story. Jewell wins it, so it squirts out. He's unlucky there, to be fair.
Yeah. Melefi.
Yeah.
Superb work.
Yeah. Bit straight that time from Stedman. It's worked out though. They've won the second ball.
Next one.
Good header from Jewell. And again, Jewell. Joe Elliott dispossessed though, and here come West Ham. This is where I think they're dangerous. These opportunities to be quite direct. Chelsea are very deep, very early.
Yeah, straight away, 3 numbers in the box.
Great first touch in there from Weston. He's unlucky.
Punch it, punch it. Boy, Kane.
Bit of head tennis. Here we go. Randall does well. Back to Morrissey, and they're out now through Reed. He's going to struggle to keep that in. Just gone out. Lovely touch from Gary Pascoe there, the coach. Still got a bit. Looks like it's going to be a good battle in the middle all day.
Yeah, absolutely, but you can't help but I think Chelsea are getting drawn into that battle. I think West Ham are more than happy to have that. They're stronger, physically better. So Chelsea need to move the ball a little bit quicker. I don't think the surface actually helps that too much. It's not very wet, it's quite dry. I think that suits West Ham. We've got another West Ham corner coming up.
Yeah, it is a dry pitch. It's a nice surface, lovely and flat. It's quite dry.
If we're going to moan about it, we may as well moan about everything.
Exactly. And it's too hot.
Yeah. Did you bring the suntan lotion?
George Unwin then, with an in-swinger. Ooh. Western first to the ball, but off target. Chelsea leaving no one out defensively on the corners. Are they inviting pressure doing that, John?
I think so, yeah, absolutely. They've got to be careful because West Ham are dominant in the air. Again, we've said it before, I think Chelsea just need to settle it down a little bit. But if you look right now, you can see, look, Chelsea want to play out from the back, but West Ham leaving, they've got the two centre forwards, they're playing on their centre halves. The centre halves at Chelsea have got no time on the ball whatsoever, and it's forcing them into a game they do not want to play.
Yeah, I agree with that. See, next 5-10 minutes should see Chelsea impose their style a bit more. Stedman can't quite keep it in.
Of course,
huge throw.
Joe Elliott.
Wood and Unwin combining on the right, getting a bit of success over there at the moment. Unwin round the back. Unlucky.
So this is what I like from Chelsea. This is what they want to do. They want to play it from the back. Their two centre halves nice and wide. Their full backs more or less up to the halfway line. And it's just trying to stretch that West Ham team.
Yeah, the pitch is a lot bigger now than it was with when the ball's in West Ham's half, isn't it? Chelsea do like to use the spaces a lot more. Gilbert pressing though. He's been very busy first 10 minutes here, Gilbert. Both midfielders in the middle for West Ham been good so far.
Yeah, you can tell Gilbert, he does probably that nasty work, if you like. Wins that ball back for West Ham so they go and play. Probably doesn't get the recognition like Brandon Wood, who scores all the goals, if you like. But he's obviously a key clog in that West Ham midfield.
Yeah, absolutely. Every great team has that player's player, let's say.
Absolutely.
Good strength there from Wharton, sorry.
It's a shame I was a 99p version of Andrea Pirlo.
Yeah, that much?
Yeah.
Okay, so, number 10, West. Good turn there. Tucker getting them playing. Now they're down the right through Rowe. Crosses, but again, it's that man in the middle, Gilbert. Great composure in there as well.
He can play a bit.
Just don't overcook it. Well played. Unlucky with the ball, but certainly had a really good opening 12 minutes now. That ball is on. Great knock as well.
Superb ball from Joe Elliott there.
That's a shout there. There's a shout. Probably a little bit clumsy from Neil there.
Yeah, West Ham coaches certainly thought that was a free kick.
Big moments in games like this.
Worth noting, what a fantastic ball from Joe Elliott there. Switch of play. Has turned Toby Neal straight on his back.
Yeah. Okay. Unwin then. Another in swinger
So it looks
from
like
the
Chelsea
left.
going zonal here.
Oh, it's a great save by Stedman. It's just popped out there. I think Hegarty won the initial header, and I didn't see who it came off last. Who got the final touch, but Stedman did well.
I must confess, Tom, it's a bit of a risky strategy with West Ham. Got the runners on the Chelsea defenders there.
You mean the zonal approach?
Yeah, with the zonal approach, yeah. Lucky to get away with that. It's another long throw here, looks like.
Yeah, it's a decent weapon that, isn't it?
It's Josh Story there again. Josh Story, sorry.
Josh Story straight away, he's there. Chelsea are out again. What can they do here? Here's Neil. Options are limited on the line. He's done well there. Now he's bought himself some time. And a good ball as well. Example of the ball getting stuck in the turf there, John. But a great recovery from Flack. And he's unlucky with the cross. Better moment from Chelsea though.
Take again. Lefty in the midfield.
A great ball, just turns it round. Weston in the corner then. One to hit. He's done well to get a corner there. Alefi's made a great run considering where he started, and he's ended up the second option in the box there.
Big shout out to Kai Weston, by the way, playing up front for West Ham. He gets up at 4 o'clock every morning before college to go to work. Superb effort.
Hard work pays off, right?
Absolutely. While I'm here in the sun.
Claiming to be working, yeah.
Working, not working.
George, squeeze on one. Squeeze on tight, George.
Zonal again here from the Chelsea.
Yeah, in the swinger this time. Just lacks a bit of depth, but it's been picked up by Gilbert. Wouldn't surprise me if he goes and... Oh, he has! A great finish there.
Oh, celebration, fantastic. That corner flag's taken an absolute beating.
Yeah. Kane Wilson with a fantastic first touch just to give himself the space for the shot, and what a finish to cap a brilliant opening 20 or so. Sorry, Kane Gilbert, apologies. Great finish nonetheless.
Arguably the best player on the pitch so far as well.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, yeah. Josh Story's been very strong at the back for Chelsea, but maybe that tells the story of the game so far.
Again, Tommy, looking at that zonal as well, he's completely unmarked at the edge of that box. He's had time to bring it down, take it past the defender, and you shouldn't be having too much that space in your own penalty box, should you?
I suppose that's the trade-off, isn't it? If you go man-to-man or zonal, there's pros and cons with both approaches. When it doesn't work, they get highlighted. When it does, you're a genius, right? Good tackle in there. Kalega Stain just calming things down. He's done well there to dig that out.
Just notice that West Ham press, Tom, straight on their first touch, not getting that time to settle.
Yeah, and I think with you take the odd foul like that because of the amount it unsettles the opposition.
Absolutely.
Obviously they're out now. Jewel going a bit longer. Tony Pascoe below us telling him to keep the ball. He's picked out a good ball there, to be fair. Wharton does well, turns Unwin, does very well, buys himself a throw.
You'd have to say as well, with Chelsea's centre forward number 9, Alex Wharton, he's quite isolated up that top because West Ham are getting back in numbers and crowding them out. Can't really get much into the game at the moment.
Yeah, it's difficult. West Ham have had the better of the opening exchanges for sure. I suppose in that situation you just need something to stick a little bit just to take the momentum away from the game. Maybe this is the time. Here we go, Chelsea out on the left. In it comes. Well taken by Morrissey.
Looks to settle it down. No rush whatsoever. In control of the game, I'd say.
Yeah, they've started well. They've got their goal. There's no rush now, and you can see there's a visible composure about West Ham at the moment. It's unlucky. Got stuck under his feet a little bit. We've seen it once or twice with the pitch. Randall into the sky more than forward. No one's really got control possession at the moment, but very well played. Wharton's done really well. In it goes. Oh, and Flack was there. Just shades of Gaza in Euro 96. Maybe one for me more rather than you, John. Here we go. Well up, a good win there. Kalega Stain does well. High and mighty from Story. Yeah,
too physical there.
Did he need to make that foul?
Not really.
Here's Rowe. Being urged to be patient by his teammates. Floats in a decent ball, just too far.
Rash clearance from Juggerlit there.
Yeah, but Chelsea, last couple of minutes, probably looked more like themselves from what I've seen previously. Sometimes, strangely, a goal either way seems to settle games down.
Absolutely. Game's been played at a very high tempo early doorside, Tom. Superb.
Away they come again. Wood does really well. And they're getting a bit of joy down that left-hand side, but well played there by Jewel. Comes over and deals with that. Here's Neil. row forward. He's unlucky again, just maybe pushing too hard. Wood wins the header. Chelsea to restart.
Superb play by Wharton there, good hard up play.
Tucker now. And Story stepping in. This is where they like to play, like their centre halves to step in and play from here, joining in. Wharton has his pocket pick there. Joe Elliott does well. Gets the foul, good defending. Definitely a slower tempo to the game now, John. So it's halfway through the first half. So what does that mean for the next 20 or so?
Well, West Ham in the ascendancy, yeah, they got their goal. They're dictating how they want it to go. Chelsea's starting to slowly create themselves back into it. But West Ham's got a chance here. Can he cross the ball? It's unlucky. Story away there, early doors. Stain. Oh, it's poor.
Oh, he's unlucky.
Referee's been quiet. What do we think, Tom?
Certainly didn't pull out of that, did he?
Young man went flying.
I think it was one of those. He was reaching, so it probably looked like a lunge, more of a lunge than it was. I suppose it doesn't help when you've just given the ball away, though.
That's the thing.
Going back to Story clearing that ball, he reminds me of what you would say is an old-fashioned defender.
Absolutely.
He certainly can play, but
Fantastic ball out to Neil.
it's a great touch as well from Neil onto flat. Neil again, that inside channel, and there's a foul right on the edge of the area.
Does he need to make that foul? Maybe it's more of a clash of legs. West Ham coach is certainly not happy about it.
Yeah, quite animated.
He's halfway up the touchline.
Yeah, they're not happy about that. I suppose their argument is there was just as much punishment for that foul than the previous one.
Sorry to the viewers if you picked up any bad language. You have to understand it's a very high
An emotional
game.
occasion, yeah. Okay, Chelsea's free kick then. Their best opportunity of the game by far. Looks like Flack standing over it. Oh, is he? He went into the near post.
Story, I think
it was. Story, wasn't it?
It's a lovely little deafening touch, if you like, at the near post. Just crept over the bar, and that's Chelsea's best chance of the day. Would you not agree?
Yeah, it'd be good to watching that back. I thought they crowded the space with that first touch initially, but maybe they fooled me as much as anyone else.
West Ham taking their time over this goal kick.
Yeah, I think they need to settle down, get back to what they were doing maybe 10 minutes ago. Probably can't play at that pace for 90, but identify the spells where you're going to get success doing it, perhaps. And this could be one of them. So come in, Jewel does well. Looked like he hesitated, but he kept his head, done well. Haven't really retained possession off the goalkeeper yet, Chelsea, have they? Which is obviously what they've looked to do. Forced to go long. It's not the worst result in the world. Throw on the halfway line.
Make him go back home. Make him go back home.
Played Harrison, buys himself some time there, Harrison Jewell.
That's fantastic. Now they've drawn West Ham out here. They've got a bit of space with the left back.
Breyer going forward. Little ricochet in there.
Randall
strong, composed on the ball, good. Wood combining well.
That's a little bit better though from Chelsea. They've beaten the press from West Ham. And they've found the space and getting behind.
Elliott Wood comes away with it.
Obi, one-on-one there. Have a
uses that channel. No nonsense from Story there. He's had a good game.
Absolutely.
Jaden, tell George not to go chasing the ball when we're in good possession. Tell him not to chase it.
Huge throw again, really good weapon. Story wins it. He'll say that was planned, obviously. Had the shout to flick it on, back to Stedman. And here we come again. This is what they're looking to do more, these combinations in the middle. Kallega Stain, again, centre half stepping in. Just seeing more of the patterns they're trying to play a little bit more. Rowe now. Good feet in the box. Got to be careful there, West Ham. That's a good challenge. Excellent, Neil. Looking to combine. Heavy challenge there on Flack, but we come away with it, West Ham. It was fair.
A lot better from Chelsea in the last 5 minutes. You can see their sequence of play, playing up from the back. They are getting back to front with a good one-touch football. They know that West Ham are going to be on to them very, very quickly. Now they're starting to clock onto that a little bit more, and a little bit more smarter.
Good win there from Michael Reed. Bit scrappy in the middle. Who's going to come out with this? It's West Ham. Up to Wood. This is a job he does very well, bringing other players into the game.
Always sticking to his foot.
Chelsea aware of that though, and Rowe wins it back.
Excellent play by Gilbert again, wins it.
Yeah, smothering Tucker there. Slightly clumsy there. Got away with it. Young now. Takes his time. Could have rolled it on there, ref, I thought. No, we're coming back. I suppose it was a foul. Just looking at one or two of the challenges West Ham are making around their own box. It's hard to meet pace with pace in those sort of areas, and we had one penalty shout earlier on, or very nearly a penalty shout, like a free kick just outside the box. Just as things get a bit more nervy and a bit tetchy, if it stays close, got to be careful there.
Yeah, perhaps West Ham just needs to be a little bit cleverer. They're playing at a very, very high intensity, and that's whether it's with the ball or without the ball, and they just need to be aware that they are 1-0 up, and they need to just perhaps calm the game down a little bit. Don't need to do anything rash, don't need to do anything silly. Just keep the way they're playing. They're in good control at the moment.
Yeah, Unwin again on the dead ball delivery. Quite a straight one. Goal kick. Very difficult to attack a straight ball like that into the box. Delivery was okay. Maybe a different angle would have helped. Chelsea out through the middle. So this is it's quite clear. Chelsea have settled down here. This is how they want to play. Weston won't waste too much energy doing the individual press. Just dropping into 2 rows of 4 here, West Ham. Story stepping in. Tucker now out to Neil.
Yeah, superb.
Counter attack. Malefi's off here. Left hand side. Oh, Tucker.
Have we got our first booking of the day, Tom?
We might have, just after our chat about meeting pace with pace in those areas.
Yeah, it's gonna be our first booking.
Commentators curse for Chelsea rather than West Ham.
Who's playing that fine?
Surely too early in the game for the club to pay it. So Chelsea in a difficult spot here because they've worked themselves back into the game really well the last 5-10 minutes. This is a much better angle for a right foot delivery.
Just another word on that play from Chelsea there. Very good defensive setup from West Ham there. They decided not to go press, decided to set up the 2 banks of 4, and they didn't allow anything into that final third in between the centre halves, and they just picked it off nice and easily.
Gone for a quick one. Gilbert's there, touches in the box, excellent. George Unwin left-footed, half cleared.
Gilbert.
Bobbing around, Gilbert again in there. He's everywhere at the minute.
Excellent. Excellent play by Jill there.
Joe Elliott with a time now to pick his man in, pick the ball. Randall wins it. Stedman's on it. The call is to counter-attack here. Doesn't look like it's on. Looking at the body language of the front line for Chelsea, nice and high, but no one really looked ready to get on the counter-attack. Here's Neil. Rowe does well. Finds Flack, who returns it. And again, well played by these two. Needs an easier option. He's done well. He's unlucky with the cross. Calais Gastain and Neil sorting it out.
Oh.
Time for a touch there, Neil. Malefi's there.
Superb.
The play on. Tucker to Flack. He's unlucky and the ball's cleared. Neil gets us restarted. Tucker really tightly marked. I think they've done their homework here, West Ham. George Tucker's not getting any time on the ball whatsoever. Calais Gastain has got time on the other hand and finds Tucker. This is better. The switch is on. Can get it under. Well played, Breyer. Going for the return off Winkworth, but ball cut out. Unwin, I think it was. Wharton down in the corner, faced up by Elliott. Does well to get across him, but can't beat the first man. It's a great first time ball by Winkworth. Picks out Rowe and Tucker. This is better from Chelsea. Neil done us all there.
Well, I want to see that one again.
Calais Gastain now getting plenty of the ball the last couple of minutes in this kind of area. Maybe just needs a little bit more movement up top. Excellent there from Rowe. Flack, sorry. Ball's gone out and Chelsea just imposing themselves a bit more here.
Oh, was that a little kick out there from Reed? Good for me, ain't got VAR.
Flack cuts inside, gets a shot off, but no problem for West Ham. But better last couple of minutes from Chelsea.
You can see West Ham are more than happy for Calais Gastain to pick that ball up, but Young and Gilbert in that midfield just want to pick up. They're starting to pick up the runners in there, so they're not getting time on the ball. As soon as it does come into them players in the midfield, Tucker, then it's straight onto him first touch.
Yeah. Definitely denying space in those areas. Here we go though, West Ham, that's unlucky. Breyer cuts it out well. Was there an arm there? Gilbert on the ball, the goal scorer. Forced into a bit of a corner there. Just a bit more energy about Chelsea at the moment. Maybe West Ham's fast start has just caught up with them slightly. Tucker dropping deeper to get the ball. Story.
Chelsea
Winkworth does well, makes that a good ball.
Unlucky.
It was unlucky. You're right though, John, yeah. Far better shape about Chelsea at the moment than we saw earlier.
Kieran Rowe now just drifting into that number 10 position. Perhaps there needs to be a little bit more of a patient approach there from Chelsea, because the number 10 in that position was starting to create a bit more space in there.
Elliott into Weston there, not quite what Weston was hoping for. He's limping away there, he does well though. Sorry, Wood, not Weston, apologies.
Brandon would find himself in an orthodox position out of the line.
Yeah.
Sweeps up again from West Ham.
Elliott and Unwin combining. Wood getting in behind. It's that man's story again. Just sometimes variation on that delivery might catch Chelsea out. I think we see a lot of Story cutting out that ball into the box. Something maybe floated towards the back post just might create something different there for West Ham.
What do we reckon Chelsea are going to set up? Are we going to stick to that zonal marking? Or are we going to change that? Because we look straight away, you can see West Ham have got runners onto them defenders. And if that ball is right, I know where my money's going.
Be very surprised if they switch mid-game, but remember years ago a big debate about Liverpool doing it under Benitez. In-swinger from West Ham. Beats everyone. Good shape on the delivery, just too much on it.
It's a brave approach, it really is.
The zonal?
Yes, it certainly is. We've got big men coming up from the back for West Ham, all physically dominant. Love to win the ball in the air. It's a very brave approach.
Here's Reed. Had a quiet 10 minutes. Reed saw a lot of the ball in the first 10. Trying to unlock the door there. Neil maybe too cute for that area of the pitch. I say that because I could never do things like that when I played.
5-yard man, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. On a good day. Melefi there with the set. West Ham throw. We reset. Great first touch from Melefi. Strong challenge in there. Calera Stain. Gilbert just telegraphed the Cruyff turn a little bit. Rowe was wise to it.
Absolutely, and no emotion on his face whatsoever. He felt very controlled by that.
Chelsea looking to clear up. Breyer prods it forward. Hegarty wins.
Excellent play.
Calera Stain does well. Toby Neal, a bit more space there than he maybe realised. Ball pops up, definitely hit the arm there.
And his dog saw that was handball, it's set for the referee, I think.
West Ham staff are absolutely convinced. And they've got a point, in fairness.
Absolutely.
He's not going to give it now, so. Melefi clears. Gilbert now. Again, Gilbert just in the right place at the right time. Puts good weight on that ball and well played. Great centre forward play there by Brandon Wood. Does really well. It's all well and good banging goals in left, right and centre, but teams love a centre forward that can make the ball stick and get you possession in that sort of area, don't they?
Absolutely, it's just sticking to his foot, and it's bringing players, others into the game. We haven't seen much in chances, in the way of chances from Brandon Wood at the moment, but I'm pretty sure if Chelsea do clock off, then they will get a chance.
Well, the Southern Premier Division goal scorers table tells its own story, doesn't it? Melefi picks Neil's pocket here. Great turn pass, Rowe brings him down. And just coming towards the end of the first half here, it would be a big goal either way if someone was to nick one now. I suppose particularly if West Ham go in 2 up.
Yeah, Chelsea will not want to concede before half time. They want to get back in, regroup and go again in the second half. If it goes to 2-0, it's an uphill challenge, shall we say.
Yeah, agree with that, especially in the conditions today. Great for us up here. Maybe not so great if you're running around down there. Unwin in swinging with that right foot once again. Put good pace on it, but couldn't beat the wall. Centre halves union would be delighted with those ones when they just have to trot straight back.
West Ham don't have to take any risks here. They can just see this half out. You'd like to say. Take their time with it.
Reed dealt with that well. Malefi zinged it back at his chest. Hegarty wins well. He's won a few of those, Hegarty. He's been probably quieter at the back than Randall, but he's been neat and tidy, and he's cleaned up well.
You'd have to say the West Ham centre-half's been completely dominant in the air, and Walton's just a little bit isolated up the top. He's not winning them aerial duels. You can tell he'd rather it to his feet, perhaps in behind if you like. He's having to drift out wide to come and receive the ball.
Reed, left-footed, great shape on that. It's come all the way through. Weston was there. I think it was Breyer that got the touch to take it out for a corner, and well played, not switching off at the back post.
Yeah, Breyer had to be on his mettle there, otherwise that was 2-0 West Ham.
Reed certainly not rushing to take this corner. Oh, apologies. Just a slight concern over Winkworth there. Took a blow to the face. He was convinced he was okay. Rightly so, though, the referee being cautious about that sort of thing. Here we go, in-swinger. More height on that one. Oh, Randall wins it. By the time it reached him, all the pace had gone off it, though. Really hard to generate an attacking header from there. Front two of West Ham staying sharp there, John. That what would be an easy opportunity to play out, completely taken away.
Yeah, you see Stedman there a bit frustrated with his arms up aloft. He perhaps wants to play a little bit out from the back, but the West Ham centre forward's perhaps not letting him, so he's having to go a little bit longer. And that suits West Ham absolutely perfectly.
Here it goes. Wood again. Well defended that time from Jewell. Kalega staying on. Randall winning the header and then clearing again. Bit scuffy, but it gets to Malefi.
Oh,
Hegarty.
Good composure.
Absolutely.
Don't let it go back. Don't let it go back. Win it.
Decide to go forward. Good screen in there. Winkworth does well. Certainly still switched on after that clash of heads. Kalega, Stain and Neil combining. Big moment in the game this. Half-time fast approaching. If Chelsea can get something here. Tucker and Rowe combining well. Can he get it in the box? Good defending. Gilbert and Reed combining brilliantly in defence there. But Wood's unlucky. Good defending. And we go forward again. Rowe and Tucker. Don't know how long the referee's got left here, but can't be long at all. Be a great time to score and a terrible time to concede. Malefi does well. No corners, the shout from the staff. Tucker and Gilbert. Good battle in there. It's been quite a key battle, that one, actually. Two very important players for their teams.
Yeah, the midfield battle's been very feisty, shall we say. Both on each other's touches very early. Not getting much space at all. And Gilbert is like a headless chicken. He's everywhere, isn't he?
Caught napping slightly there. Tucker can't quite get in the box. Morrissey to get us started again. So he hasn't had too much to do, Morrissey, to this point, has he?
No, I don't think he's had a save to make, has he, Tom?
No, and I suppose in a cup final, that's what you're after as a goalkeeper. Or guarantee that you make the winning penalty save, maybe.
Oh.
West Ham doing a good job just killing the momentum of this game here. Had about 2 minutes to take a goal kick and a throw. Just good game management, that. Particularly in the warm conditions. Great throw again. Good weapon from Joe Elliott, that.
Lovely throw by Stephen.
Yeah, great throw. Reed really enjoyed that. I don't think I've seen a tackle celebrated in quite that much, with that much verve before.
It had the hint of Stuart Pearce, would you say, about that?
Yeah, I think West Ham, yeah, Julian Dix maybe.
There you go. Very, very similar.
I do believe a few of the boys at West Ham playing today are being coached by Julian Dix elsewhere as well. Maybe that's where it comes from. Okay, great run then.
That's unlucky.
Wharton's unlucky. Worked really hard there. And I think that's what Chelsea need. They need that kind of run behind just to turn the West Ham back four around every now and again.
I'm pretty sure Wharton preferred to be in the box for that cross though, instead of him having to conjure up himself.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. Elliott does well, buys himself some time. Wood helps it on. Maybe didn't get the shout. Brian now looking forward towards Wharton again. Looks like his previous endeavours caught up with him a little bit. Looks like he might be blowing there slightly.
I'm knackered just watching it.
It's a familiar story with that throw at the moment. Elliott's hands to Story's head. West Ham looking to build here. Unwin does really well to get it under. He's got himself into a good position. There he is again.
Actually well there, the right winger. Won himself a corner.
Again, game management coming into play here. West Ham in no hurry to take this. It's going to be Reed. I dare say if he assists with this corner, he won't celebrate that as much as he celebrated his tackle a minute ago. Reed with the corner then. Oh! Weston at the back post.
Completely unmarked.
Yeah, well, I think he was quite clever there. I think he had a little lean on Tucker, who was marking him. Tucker asking for the foul. But I suppose in those situations, you've got to make sure you got hold of your man. Make sure he cannot get on the end of that ball. Stedman clears, and that's half time then in the trophy final. It's West Ham Foundation 1, Chelsea Foundation 0. Quite an even half in the end there, John. I thought West Ham started really well. Chelsea gradually worked their way back into it. As the teams go in for half time now, what would be your concluding thoughts of that half?
Yeah, I'll echo those comments. I thought West Ham started a lot brighter, higher tempo. Chelsea couldn't really deal with that, if you like. Had to perhaps take that extra touch just to get control of the ball. They slowly got themselves into the game. Nice little sequence of plays here and there. But you'd have to say Chelsea haven't really troubled the goalkeeper as of yet. West Ham look a threat from set pieces and on the counter attack.
I think there's going to come a time when Chelsea have to throw a bit more caution to the wind, and we'll probably see, you'd be kicking yourself if you left the cup final without really working the keeper. So we might see it open up as we go through the second half. What do you think are the implications of that both ways if Chelsea maybe throw caution to the wind a bit more and go for the attack?
Well, it's like throwing a dice. You've got to take a chance. It's a case. I think they need to get a little bit more support to Walton up front. Obviously, I think the fullbacks need to get a bit higher and wider. But with that, of course, West Ham can pick them up. They've got 2 centre forwards up front, and West Ham are not shy in getting that ball from back to front very, very quickly. And in that situation, you could have a 2-on-3 situation. So that's what Chelsea got something to think about. With West Ham, I think they're in control. I think they're winning the midfield battles, winning the aerial duels. But Chelsea look a little bit sharper on the ball when they're getting that ball into the middle part. They just need to beat that press from West Ham and get West Ham turning their backs and running towards their own goal.
Brilliant. Well, thanks, John. Really good first half. As we leave you, the replacements or finishers, as we call them these days, just getting warm. Surely going to play a big part in these sort of conditions. Half time here at Cobham. Chelsea Foundation 0, West Ham Foundation 1. And here are some of the highlights from that first half. Welcome back. Ready for the second half of the National Football Youth League Trophy Final. Chelsea Foundation 1-0 down at the moment. West Ham with a dominant first 20 minutes that's really told and probably reflects justifiably on the scoreline. Depending on the changes, it's going to be really interesting to see how these two teams set up this half. Chelsea have to show a bit more going forward. West Ham potentially can get them on the break, as John said just before that. Really key for Chelsea, I think, if they can release George Tucker a little bit more and free him up in advanced areas, it could work in their favour. Was very much smothered. His work was very much smothered in that first half. Welcome back, John Hope. Hope you had a nice cup of tea at the break.
Oh.
And here we go.
Wonderful. Right. Yeah, just on that word with George Tucker, so he actually played for Cornwall under-18s, a bomb in town. He's actually, he is a Chelsea supporter, so this must be quite an occasion for him to be here at Cobham.
Much like yourself, John, I hear.
I'll do all right.
Here we go. So, big day for Chelsea in just under a week's time, and a big day for the Foundation today with this cup final. Full start at kick-off there. Now we're underway. Kallega Stein gets us going. Breyer down the left. Both teams unchanged at half time. Combining well up top. But Wharton unlucky there. Trying to play off the first touch. Very tight area. When the info got sent through on the players, it was really good to see just how many of them are playing at a non-league or development league level. Really does highlight the standard of the league and the achievement of both teams to get to this stage, really.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Oh, come back to that. Oh, superb. Good defending there by Hegarty there. Yeah, no, just they've all got teams outside of their college programs, so you know their life is more or less 24/7 football. So they're constantly playing at a very good standard. Yeah, I mean, as long as they all enjoy themselves and learn to improve and then take something out of it, then good luck to them.
Absolutely, and I think it's a real important point to make is that whilst the football education programs are fantastic for developing you as a footballer, it's also really important that within that, these players, these students are getting kind of the importance of staying active as they get older. For anything like me, you become less and less active as you get older. But also exploring those different career avenues outside of just being a professional footballer, which of course is the dream, but are in the minority. West Ham here attacking at speed, and Breyer again has done a good job of that today, just breaking up kind of mini counter-attacks, and he might have started one of his own here, finding Rowe on the switch. Crowded out though, and away come West Ham through Lewis Young, who's had a good composed game so far.
Yeah, here's George Irwin of Canvey Island first team. Plays alongside Gilbert, actually. They both play Canvey Island very high standards.
Yeah, absolutely. Has his pocket picked there. Kadagastain doing some good work there. It Canvey have been a sleeping giant in non-league terms for a few years. I can remember going back 1 or 2 years now when I was playing at a similar kind of level. Canvey were a big non-league side, so good to see them back on the rise. Big throw from Elliott again. Oh, Wood just missing out. Misjudged the flight slightly. Wharton 3-on-1. What can he do? Again, it's West Ham who can settle. Randall taking a direct route there. Bit of shenanigans from Wood.
Member of the Brentwood first team. Is Toby Neal. Loves his surfing apparently.
Oh really?
Yeah, loves his surfing.
Be nice to live by the sea and have that as a hobby, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it wouldn't be too bad.
Chelsea, better from them here. Rowe with the shot, just dragged it slightly. Sorry, John, cut you off there.
No, sorry, just a little bit better from Chelsea, a little bit brighter, a bit more attacking intent. Straight away, you know. I think West Ham trying to take the sting out of the game, would you say, Tom?
I think so. I think it'll be more difficult now than it was prior to half time. I think Chelsea would probably be happy going into half time not conceding a second, whereas obviously now it's a different context to the game really. Chelsea 40 minutes away now from losing a cup final, so they're going to have to go for it.
Massive congratulations to Lorcan Morrissey, by the way, part of the promotion winning first team squad to the Bostik North League, Hullbridge FC.
Excellent. Slightly late there. Malefi, he's had 1 or 2 of those. The youngest player on the pitch. Might need 1 or 2 of the leaders in the group to just
it's good to see him
have a word.
Putting it about a bit.
Certainly not afraid, eh? Referee just having a word with him and Winkworth. Don't think there was anything too malicious in it. It was just mistimed. You can see the tension's gone up a notch here, John. Both benches are asking for a bit of a hook there. Finds Briar.
Off to Derby University. Summer.
Good uni, Derby. Unwin does well, picks Story's pocket and goes into the box now, faced up, has a go. Oh! Great run.
What a fantastic run from the right winger.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perhaps on his weakest side, but he's drawn a centre half. It's an unlucky effort. It's the brightest opening of the second half so far.
Quite flexible with positions, West Ham. I can remember Unwin being a right-sided, a right back basically in the game they played against Fulham. But definitely showed a real attacking intent there and good ability going forward as well. They're the sort of goal kicks where if West Ham miss the first header, Chelsea have to get control of the ball. Didn't happen that time, but that's the sort of one that's going to have to stick. That's better. Flack does well and finds Briar. That's not a bad ball into a good area. It's going to hold up on the dry ground. Defended well there, Hegarty. Again, quietly solid. Look at Hegarty. Excuse me, and Randall at the back. And West Ham fans might not thank me, but I think of John Terry and Ricardo Carvalho. 2 very good players, but have different styles.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, Tom. I'd say Randall's more the John Terry, if you like, takes control, whereas Hegarty he looks like the younger type, he likes to play. They match each other very, very well.
Agreed. Referee with a touch in there for Chelsea. That was a good ball from Rowe into the feet of Wharton. Just couldn't get it in and it's cleared. Tucker to Neil and Calera Stain now. Breyer coming forward. He's going to go on the overlap. He is. Flack into Winkworth. Ooh.
Yeah, just on that, Tom, you see Chelsea starting to make the pitch a little bit bigger now. West Ham have to drop a little bit deeper. And Chelsea starting to ask a few questions of this West Ham team now. A bit more exciting second half.
Definitely more intent going forward in particular. Still yet to create that telling chance that really tests Morrissey in goal. Malefi now, forward into Wood. And they look dangerous, they just look very mobile, get about very well in the final third, West Ham. Chelsea have organised well and Rowe nicks it off Reed here. Great recovery from Gilbert. Coaches at Chelsea coaches down here are saying a bit ponderous on the ball there, but that's a great recovery from Gilbert. Sensed the danger and snuffed it out. Wood hooks on. Can it stick now? Good defending from Randall, good strength, good timing. Gilbert coming away now, into the box. Oh, great ball in, he's looking for Weston. Stedman does well. And here's Flack. Elliott telling him to have a go, and he's defended it well. Certainly not pulling out there.
Fair to say Elliott not impressed by that decision.
Not impressed whatsoever. Fancied the race there, Elliott. Disappointed that they haven't got the ball. Good position here for Chelsea though. Winkworth's there. Ash Winkworth's on the. He's the out ball there. Difficult to get a quality delivery from there. Malefi comes in and does well. If you consider Malefi's got 2 more years to play at this level, potentially 3, could be a hell of an asset.
Absolutely, Tom. You can tell he's very raw, young, perhaps inexperienced, but he's given absolutely everything. He's leaving everything on that pitch. Always wanting the ball, looking to make them runs. It's been incredibly impressive so far. That is some long throw.
It is. It's quite clever in pinching a yard or two on where it was taken from as well. It's the first change coming potentially. Subs are getting warm. My mistake, not just yet. Chelsea staff unhappy about just where these throws are being taken from. I suppose it doesn't matter when you can throw it like that. Great touch from Wharton. Elliott does well. Tucker's touch just betraying him there slightly. Need to get set back in, leading to another throw from Elliott. And this has been a real weapon, John, hasn't it, so far?
Yeah, so he plays for Aveley FC. He's studying PE for his A-levels alongside his BTEC diploma. And if his long throws causing Chelsea any damage, I'm pretty sure it's handy on that Saturday afternoon for Aveley FC.
Certainly. It's a good ball. Can it stick now? Wharton turns it round. Rowe looking to give Reed a hard time over here. And he's done well. He's forced him. In fairness, they've both done well, but Chelsea come out with it. Here's Tucker into Rowe. Good defending from Reed. He was caught the wrong side there and he's done well to get back in. You can hear Josh Story from up here. Do not let him out. And he's equally as energetic about his displeasure at the decision to give a goal kick. So West Ham, quite a deliberate tactic to take their time over these. I'm surprised the Chelsea players haven't got into the referee about it just yet. Reminds me of Ajax in the semi-final of the Champions League against Spurs, but as a Spurs fan, I won't hesitate in reminding everyone how that ended up. So,
Don't stop talking about it.
Tucker bringing it away. Calera staying forward, but it's dealt with by Randall. But here we go, it's that second phase now. Good ball from Rowe. Puts Wharton in, it's gone across goal! Oh! Morrissey seemed happy enough with it from where we were. I don't know if he was aware that Flack was tearing in at the back post. Chelsea far more energised now than they seemed to be in the first half. Wind holding the ball up slightly there from Morrissey, and Chelsea come back again. It's Flack. Good tackle, Hegarty. Good challenge. Winkworth to Rowe. Can he find some space around the edge of the box? He's getting crowded out there, but he's done really well. Randall comes in. Ball squirts out now. Flack. Unwin does very well. And he almost finds the front line there. Jayden Randall with a big header, more up than out, but it done the job. Lewis Young and George Unwin combining well. That's a lovely return from Unwin and a good tackle from Tucker. Tips it Chelsea's way. Calera Stain brings in Neil. Oh, just too straight. Reed's able to cut it out. Melefi. Great pass in. Story's got his work out here with Wood. Unwin, edge of the box, can't fashion the space to have a shot, and he's dispossessed. He's got to get back up though, he's still involved here. Gilbert, one of those jinky runs that he led to his goal in the first half really. This time, other side, has a shot. Doesn't trouble Stedman in goal. It's a man down. It's a key man as well for Chelsea. It's Josh Story. Doesn't look comfortable whatsoever. So Chelsea will be hoping that's not too serious. They've had a really good first spell in this second half, and Joshua Story's been a key man for that, John.
Absolutely, not only for Chelsea, but also he plays for England schools and Cornwall under-18s and Helton AFC, so he's not shortage of football. And he's currently trialling with various clubs in bid to acquire a contract in the United States of America. So I wish him really well for that. And anything he shows like today, he'd be an absolute asset because he's been excellent today for Chelsea in the air. And hopefully it's not too serious for him.
Yeah, a busy man, so he doesn't need to be held up with an injury, that's for sure. But like you say, right, he's had a really strong game so far. I remember covering games for Chelsea previously this season, and he was a real standout in those as well. So it's not a surprise to hear that clubs are having a look at him, and some exciting potential avenues for him as he transitions through his studies and hopefully his playing days as well. Seems okay. He's got to go off, obviously mandatory time off the pitch. Always a strange one when players stagger off. Someone restarts the game, they're allowed back on, but is what it is. At least we haven't got officials standing behind the goal holding a stick, which I'm not sure does anything. Temperature's dropped a little bit, which will be a bit more comfortable for the players. Slightly regretting the short t-shirt and shorts decision now. Big clearance from Stedman. Good header in there from Elliott. Up it goes again. These are had a few of these types of battles. West Ham unhappy about the challenge there. It's a great touch from Wood there. Unwin. And that's clumsy. Briar unhappy about the previous challenge, it seems. Sought retribution, and the result of that is West Ham have a free kick in a pretty promising area.
It's a game for cool heads, Tom. Can't be giving silly free kicks on the edge of your box. This is a fantastic position for West Ham to double their lead.
It really is, especially with Unwin's delivery. If it's Reed, sorry, who's going to take this one. But from either side, they've got good options. So let's see how this pans out. It's Reed swinging it in. It's gone front post. Oh, it's gone off the bar. It's Randall with the touch. Pings out off the bar. We saw a very similar type of chance with Josh Story in the first half. Same end. Gilbert's done brilliantly there. Almost works across. Toby Neal cuts it out. Chelsea just need to hold on here. Cannot afford to go two back, you feel. This time it will be Unwin from the right. Chelsea still not leaving anyone out. 11 players in their penalty area for these corners.
Loves a set piece, Unwin. Difficulty getting him off the training pitch.
They've mixed it up a little bit. Oh, and there's a challenge. Oh, it looked for the world from here that was a penalty. In fairness to the West Ham players, they've got up and got on with it, but I'm pretty sure someone's going to have a few things to say to the official after that. Great touch, Malefi, and now they're in again, round the back of Neil. It's Malefi, and this time it is a penalty. A great run. Malefi, a great run round the back of Neil, and he's just clipped his heels as he's gone to recover.
You'd have to say, Tom, the referee was in the perfect position for both those calls, so you'd have to stand by his judgment.
Yeah, he's certainly got a better view than us up here.
Exactly.
There's a little bit of shenanigans going on in the box.
Josh Story down again.
Josh Story's gone to ground. Now, I didn't see that myself. I know there was a question asked to the linesman, the referee's assistant, about scuffing up the penalty spot. Well, he's still down. There's no... treatment's coming now. A couple of discussions between players. Referee's talking to his assistant there, while the other assistant has the unenviable job of splitting up two groups of players who aren't perhaps inquiring about the best of health of one another. Glad I'm not down there, John. The size of some of these lads.
Oh, mate.
A push to the face is the what we're hearing.
I mean, he's a big lad. I doubt he'd go down for
no reason.
No, exactly. Who do you fancy taking this then, Tom?
They've got a few options. Gilbert's got the ball in hand, so he looks the most likely. I think with the set piece delivery they've got, either Unwin or Reed, I'd be confident taking a penalty. And also they got the goal machine up front himself. So,
well, coming back to Gilbert, who has got the ball in hand, he has scored 18 goals this season from, you would say a number 6 position in front of that back four. So it's an incredible total from a midfielder, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Considering how hard he works at the other side of the game as well for a player in that position, so he's defensively, does a really good job and takes a lot of responsibility. So that is a great tally.
There is blood from Josh Story, by the way. He has got blood coming from his mouth, so something must have occurred.
Okay. Walking off slightly gingerly. Walking off slightly gingerly, but without further ado, here we go. It's Gilbert versus Steadman. Huge moment in the cup final. Jinks a run and tucks it away.
Oh, referee's not happy.
Oh my.
Huh?
Referee has disallowed the goal for stopping the run-up. For Gilbert stopping his run-up. My.
Big calls.
That's not a rule, is one of the shouts from the touchline. So it remains 1-0 to West Ham, and Steadman gets us underway. Huge moment in the game. A good aerial challenge there. Elliott coming out on top, and there's a real energy in the air now. Both teams have their tails up.
Could that be a defining moment in the game, Tom?
It could well be. As we look here, we got our first change coming up. It's number 17. And excuse my pronunciation here. Jackson Penhalerick. Coming on for number 11, Alfie Flack, who's had a good game in there. So a change out wide for Chelsea, some fresh legs. Penhalerick involved straight away, getting wrong-footed slightly, but Chelsea have got the ball.
Yeah, just got my notes in front of me, Tom, and quite liked his. Apparently, Jackson's got a personal motto, and it's "Go hard or go home."
Well, given the last 5 minutes of this game, he's going to fit right in, isn't he? Chelsea's free kick then. Winkworth to send it in. He's got Penhalerick for what looks like a left-footed option. Straight into the action, the replacement, and that looks like a fantastic ball into Josh Story, who can't quite get there. Randall just getting up above him. Calera Stain now in the corner. Does well. Malefi turned. Randall's there again. Shots deflected, it falls to a West Ham shirt. Winkworth onto Penhalerick. And here is Wharton. Does really well to get past George Unwin, who recovers well, but has gone down quite heavily. Very heavily, and there's real concern over...
I think he's caught his studs in the grass there, Tom.
Doesn't look nice at all, that one. And hopefully that's not as bad as it looks for George Unwin, because he's obviously had a long season, both on his football education programme and outside of that. But that did not look good at all. We wish him all the best. Always a concern when a player, and it looks like he's coming straight off here, always a concern when a player goes down when there isn't an obvious challenge taking place.
It actually looks like it's his twin brother's going to replace him, Jack Unwin. So
the definition of like for like, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Proud day for the parents. Also looks like number 14, Sonny Smith, who's actually the squad pool champions coming. Don't think that's going to do him much good here, but
pedigree for the big occasion, maybe.
That on your CV.
Players, rightly so, just taking on some water while they get the opportunity here. Not as warm as it was at kick-off, but it's certainly not. Conditions would have taken their toll, and it's George Unwin just shimmying off the pitch there. Looks happier than he did when he first went over.
take them. Tell him. We've got the rule here, we can look at the rule if it's all over. Shall we? Come out. Yeah, he's coming out. It's just going to happen. Attack us.
Bit of discussion between the West Ham bench and the referee's assistant here. I think it goes back to the penalty incident. Relates back to the penalty incident. Not too sure what was said down there, but
I do believe someone's got the rule book up on their phone. There's a bit of confusion with the rules at the moment.
right. So we wish George Unwin our best. It's good to see him walking if assisted. And his brother replaces him, Jack. So 15, Jack Unwin on for his brother George. First job is to defend the front post at a dangerous Chelsea corner. Before the corner's taken even, there's a second change. So Obi Malefi comes off, number 11, and number 14, Sonny Smith, comes on. Like Unwin, first job, defend this corner. In it comes, but it's been hooked slightly out for a goal kick, and that's let West Ham off the hook a bit there.
It's just worth noting. Sorry, Tom. Jack Unwin also plays Canvey Island first team with his twin brother George. So nice little pedigree there.
Absolutely. Breyer coming off for Chelsea now, and Ewan Reeves coming on. Hard work from both of these players. 14 on for Chelsea, Sam Buckley, and he's replacing number 2, Toby Neal. And 12, Sam Pickup is coming on for number 8, Ash Winkworth. So all change, fresh legs for both teams. Will it tell in the pace of the game?
Really worth noting. Sam Buckley actually scored 2 goals in the last meeting between these two back in May. So that should give him lots of confidence coming into this.
Morrissey's kick flicked on. Joe Elliott's header it was. Penhallerick was the challenger. Didn't seem to be malicious, but Elliott's landed awkwardly. Referee's got his work cut out here. Last 5-10 minutes, there's been quite a few incidents, a lot of discussion. He's just having a word with Penhallerick now.
Very stop-start at the moment.
Who does it?
Team able to get into a certain flow in the game.
Who does it suit at this stage if the game's bitty and stop-starty?
Well, you'd have to say with the score 1-0 to West Ham, Chelsea can't get into a flow, and they're not conjuring up many chances as it is. So chances are going to become a premium. Difficult to get your legs going, if the expression is correct. West Ham would be happy with this.
Kind of come off the spell, quite a good spell for Chelsea as well, didn't it? Chelsea were more energised, looked a bit more dangerous. Okay, they haven't worked Morrissey too much, but they looked more energised, and this, like you say, that spell has just taken the legs out of the game, as it were. So Unwin starts us off, very high ball, just outside the area. Smith picks it up, but it's dispossessed. Pickup clears. Here's Reed. First involvement for Buckley is to press, and he does well, turns it over. Hegarty's there again. Penhallerick now challenging Young, does well, keeps the ball. Good ball down the line from Elliott, but he can only find Jewell, who finds touch. As the clock ticks, Chelsea's throw, surprisingly, albeit, big arm in. Tucker's in there challenging away with Young. West Ham want the game to be stopped. There's an injured player down at the moment, but the referee's reluctant to. I suppose it's that head injury rule. Hopefully it's not too serious. It's Hegarty, the man down. And Randall was taken out Rowe there. Chelsea aren't happy about it. It's another stoppage in the game. Little bit of argy-bargy in there as well, which doesn't help anything. Just starting to come apart at the seams slightly, this game.
Yeah, I think there was a book in there as well for Randall. I think he took out the ex-Plymouth Academy player, Rowe.
That's right.
Thankfully he's up and about, walking a tad gingerly. But this is a dangerous free kick, you know, they're flooding the box, looks like Chelsea.
Yeah.
And what has been a stop-start second half, this is a big opportunity.
Hegarty's down. It looks more like cramp than anything else right now, which I suppose vindicates the referee's decision not to stop the game. Hopefully it's just that, and I'm not being mistaken here. It looks like he's going to carry on.
Physios certainly get their money's worth today.
Absolutely. And in all this commotion, we've almost forgotten that we had a penalty disallowed for a run-up being stopped halfway through. Count the amount of times on one hand I've seen that. It's a massive occasion for a call like that.
I must confess, Tom, that's confused me as well.
The hum suggested you were perplexed by that, John, yeah.
I've certainly never seen it before.
Okay.
I'm not sure if he's made it correct. I feel like I'm judging myself. I thought I knew the game, but I'm not quite sure now.
Okay, Hegarty receives a bit of treatment, so they're down, West Ham down to 10 for now. Ball comes in, it's just lacking a little bit of pace. And it breaks out here. Calera-Stein sets it back. Jewell clips it into the middle. Story just helps it on. Buckley busying himself in there, that's a good clearance. Sonny Smith does well, difficult angle to work with there. Penellery combining well initially with Tucker, but unfortunately not quite working out, and Alan Wynne will get us underway again as Hegarty returns to the fold. Sorry, it's Gilbert, apologies. Sorry to any of the players who I've confused with each other. Nothing personal, I promise. Buckley helps it on, far more direct from Chelsea now than we saw in the first half. Reeves' first involvement, can't quite find Rowe. Stedman comes out, sweeps up well. Brandon Wood was absolutely smelling the goalkeeper's breath there. Brilliant pressing from the centre forward. Such an important defensive tool that's all too often overlooked, I find, for forwards. Ben Allen involved now, does very well, gets out of a tight situation very well indeed. Calera-Stein helps it along, and here's Jewell. Control possession, this is what Chelsea have been after for a long period of the game. Tucker working it wide, ball comes in, Randall clears, and yes, gone out for a throw. Just quite a good spell for Chelsea. A couple of minutes, haven't had any fouls or penalties disallowed or anything like that, and they're just working some more momentum into the game.
Yeah, you'd have to say the game's quietened up for the last 5 minutes. It's less controversial.
I don't know how Chelsea kept that in, but they've done really well. The result is they've got possession again. Needs a good touch here. It's gone loose. Weston's on the hunt and he's won it back for his team. Sonny Smith now. Into Brandon Wood on the D. Brilliant turn. Oh, he's unlucky. He's done really well.
Yeah, it was excellent hold-up play by Brandon Wood, and it's an unlucky finish with his left foot.
Didn't quite connect in the way that you probably wanted to, but nearly had the same result anyway. Chelsea get us going again down the left. Elliott's been solid there at right back today and again clears the danger. Penalaric now needs to get the ball in play. It looks like he's going to go long. We're being told by the bench there's going to be 10 additional minutes as it stands. So coming in towards the last quarter of an hour of a game, we're still looking at 25 minutes. Chelsea's corner in any case, Tucker to take it.
I think the Chelsea bench have just said don't push that panic button just yet.
Does feel a bit like that at the moment. Oh, great ball in. West Ham clear in the end. It's come out to pick up. You're talking about statue territory there if that one flies into the top corner, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Shades of Vincent Kompany.
It was no Vincent Kompany. More like Jonathan Hope.
So, approximately 20 minutes to go according to the referee in total. Just a slight hook on that one from Morrissey. Wasn't happy with it, saw his reaction to the kick. Giving Chelsea the opportunity to come again. And they do, they've managed to get possession. It's pick up again. Oh, that's a fantastic pass as well and a great run from Wharton. Fizzes it across. It's better from Chelsea though, it's more dangerous than we saw in the first half.
I think he'll be disappointed with that delivery into the box there. Perhaps had a little bit more time just to compose himself and pick someone out, but a tad rushed.
On we go then, Morrissey, better contact this time and a good header to send it back from Jewell. Couldn't quite get to that one. Unwin beat him to it. Stedman goes higher rather than longer. A good aerial challenge between the two there in midfield. And Penalaric now. Be harsh to give a handball for that. Hegarty does well. Penalaric unlucky. And a good clearance by Elliott. Great first touch, Weston. He's unlucky to come out of there with nothing, that's for sure. But he's done brilliantly well to win the ball back. And he's brought Smith into the fold. Rowe can't quite get back. That man again wins the first ball in the air though. Josh Story seems to have fully recovered from his earlier collision. Jewell and Tucker linking well. Carrera-Stain. Look at the energy from West Ham, just pressing Chelsea, who get their composure very well here. Long pass from the back. I think it was Reeves sending it forward. Goes all the way through to Morrissey. Good challenge there, both of them. Hard but fair it looked from here anyway. Tucker lays it off. Chelsea getting far more possession and territory now. Penalaric now. Went through a couple of what looks not 100% challenges there. And there's been a free kick given, it looks like, for diving.
I'd have to echo the referee's decision. I thought it was the correct one. I think it's just...
Do you think he's bought that?
I think Tom Bailey will be proud of that.
Okay, in any case, big opportunity for Chelsea. Into the front post. George Tucker again. Is there too much on that? Looking at the back post, we've got Reeves coming in, but just too much. And Reeves now perhaps has clocked the tactics of West Ham's, keen for things to hurry up a little bit. Unfortunately for him this time, his own team are making a sub. So, change for Chelsea then. Exiting the field, a really good performance from George Tucker. Work was smothered in the first half, but in the second half got far more of the ball and had more of an impact on the game. Taylor Pakayanis coming on, and West Ham are going to make a change as well. So we've got 12 coming on. Ben Allen. Straight into a really big game. Coming on for Kai Weston, who's probably looked a little bit tired in the last 5 minutes or so, but has had a solid performance in there anyway. Ball bounces. No contact on the first bounce. Chelsea have it. But again, that man Gilbert, whose goal still separates the side, wins it. Wood now. Clips it in. Stedman's there. Chelsea coming away now. Penelaric bringing it forward. He's done well. He's gone past Young. Oh, Wharton trying to get the shot away. Well blocked in the end. Hegarty, I think it was.
Yeah, just going back to West Ham substitution, Ben Allen. So yeah, he's actually a Hornchurch under-17s team, and he's actually currently working on his coaching badges and already working with the West Ham United as a youth coach. So I'm sure he can impart some wisdom onto his teammates as he comes on.
They like to keep busy, these boys, don't they?
I feel guilty now.
It's just a hard challenge, that. I think a few people had a problem with that, apart from the two players that were involved in the challenge itself. More confusion about which ball we're going to be using. Don't know what the world record is for the longest half of football, but I think we could be going to that sort of territory by the time this is done.
Certainly approaching it, aren't we?
Wind seems to be playing a factor now. It's blowing from our right to left, so towards West Ham's goal. There's just not quite as much distance on the goal. Excuse me, on the goal kicks from Morrissey. Ball held up right by the corner flag. Ends up with a goal kick to West Ham, which at this stage of the game they'll be delighted with, I'm sure. Just Morrissey there trying to put too much maybe on that goal kick and has hooked it slightly out for a throw. Chelsea get us underway again down their right hand side. Randall clears, but again Chelsea have probably made about 30 yards there. Reeves with the throw. And a good win. Ben Allen trying to combine there. Reed does well, but it comes through to Reeves, who sensibly changes the play. That's a little bit late there.
He's got to be careful, Jet. He's on a booking.
Yeah, I think he's unlucky there. I think he noticed the ball was a bit floaty and he had a couple of seconds to get in there and challenge Jewel for it. But I think one of those, with the height the ball was when he got there, it was never going to be a pretty challenge. Just over 10 minutes to go in added time here. So plenty of time for goals. Haven't seen an abundance of chances. Doesn't feel like the sort of game where we're going to get a glut of goals in the last 10 minutes, but this sort of situation, you just never know what's going to happen, John.
Well, absolutely. While the game stays at 1-0, Chelsea have always got a chance. They're in the game, and it only takes one chance. But they need to start testing the goalkeeper just a little bit more now. They perhaps give it 5 more minutes, and I think they will start to throw a little bit more to it. They've been going direct this second half, but they do need to perhaps push that panic button as we creep to the end of the second half.
Here we go then. Benaleric swings it in. First contact is a West Ham head, and away they come now. Stedman comes a long way, and he's done well. It could be our ball, that. Oh, very nearly.
I was thinking about committing for a diving header, but
I thought you were, John. Disappointed, to be honest. Elliott with the throw. Great weapon, particularly in this kind of situation.
gained his team so many yards just by that.
And unsurprisingly, they're not in a rush to get this one taken. A couple of players look a little bit jaded out there. Not too sure how much is left in the tank. Flick on there from Wood. Coming in at the front post there was Sonny Smith, and Stedman's done really well to turn that around.
Yeah, fantastic reflexes there. He's seen that very late as well. And West Ham got a corner. Could have been game over, really, Tom.
Absolutely, that has to be the game there if that turns in. And Stedman's done very well indeed, just to turn that around. Helpful assistant, helping us get the ball in the spot to take the corner. In swinger, headed away quite awkwardly by Sam Pickup, but it's done the job. And Jack Unwin brings it forward. Cross from the left-hand side, but it's out for a goal kick. Both benches are asking how long to the referee. There's real tension here. Can't be long to go on his watch now. It's been a funny second half. Probably some better quality for the first 10 minutes, but then all sorts of stoppages and breaks in play. And Stedman has just hooked that out of play. Seen that from both keepers recently, and it's just maybe the urgency of the situation in that case got the better of his technique.
Was that just perhaps a little bit of tiredness creeping in there from lack of concentration, and just shanked it?
The classic shank. Okay, Chelsea attacking now. Buckley flicking on, and they get a throw bang on the halfway line. Penellerit, not a bad throw on him himself, in fairness. Looking for Wharton, who's really worked tirelessly up there. Up there. Much of the time for not a lot in return. Will there be in the last 5 though?
West Ham just starting to pick up them second balls. Chelsea needs to get a grip of the game again. So losing the midfield battle.
Yeah. Ball spits out here. Randall dominant again in that physical 1v1. Jack Unwin though has his pocket picked, and away come Chelsea. Here's Penellerit combining with Sam Pickup. Ball goes in towards the back post. Kieran Rowe diving in. It was a lovely ball in. A great run at the back post. But again, at first, it's not a blue shirt that's first to that ball when it's going in. Morrissey then to restart with the goal kick. Really is getting into last chance saloon time now. What are we going to see from Chelsea? Story wins the header well, but it falls to a West Ham shirt. Wood again holds the ball up, brings players in, and has come all the way through here. And Sonny Smith has gone over in the box. Harrison Jewell looked like a miscommunication at first, where Chelsea hesitated. Jewell's gone over to deal with it. Smith just got there first, and is that going to be the game?
Straight away you could see, I think Joel was losing a battle there, and he committed early doors, and I think he was always going to lose that battle. Big chance.
Absolutely no appeal from the player himself, nor could there be, but
we've had one controversial penalty today. Will we have another?
yeah, looked like Josh Story was making a nuisance of himself in there once again. So what does this do to Gilbert's mentality here? Because his normal technique's been kind of questioned by the referee. What is he going to do? Steadman's turn to take his time to get ready. Here he comes. Oh, it's a huge save! A huge save! Kane Gilbert hit the penalty well. It was a good hit, probably a nice height for Steadman, but two strong hands to it, pushes it wide, and well, the noise has certainly increased, John.
What a fantastic save. Certainly no stutter in that run up this time. He just full on pelted it this time to the keeper's left. Keeper's read it, and what a fantastic save. We now have a West Ham corner.
West Ham corner it is indeed. A brilliant save, and imagine if Chelsea go on to get a goal here. What a moment that is. They're not going to do it with the ball in this area of the pitch though. Unwin holding it up. It looks like it's going to be a blue throw. It is.
Oh.
Running on empty it looks like. Jewel gets them restarted. Josh Story now. It's got to go one way. He's sliced it a bit. Sonny Smith regaining for West Ham. And forward it comes for a combination of Chelsea players. Too much on this one though. And Morrissey takes it. Every blue shirt is asking the referee how long he wants to take with it here. They're counting the seconds for him. Morrissey gets us underway. High and mighty, that one. Reeves with the header. West Ham coming forward again. Ben Allen making a nuisance of himself. That's a great ball in there. Brandon Wood, he's had a really good game. Allen taking on Steadman. It's come out here. Here's Young. Is someone going to have a shot? Kane Gilbert, trademark jinking run. Chelsea clear. That's a great first touch. Alex Wharton, he's worked really hard at that today. Is the only reward he's going to get that slap across the legs though?
He's been feeding on scraps all day and he's been fantastic doing so. It's a shame he hasn't had much for the service and lost his aerial battles because he's up against two very physical centre-halves. But yeah, he's left absolutely everything on that pitch and he's been fantastic.
Agreed there, John. Okay, Chelsea, free kick. It's only going one way this. Just inside their own half. Wind assisted, so this could be really interesting. I wonder, will you just try and float this to lure the keeper out? 2 minutes to go from the referee. Steadman up. He saved one penalty. What a performance if he goes and gets a goal.
What a story that would be, Tom.
Cool. Well, Chelsea weren't leaving anyone out in their defensive corners, and they've almost not left anyone out of an attacking set play here. In it comes. Good pace on the ball. Steadman's in there. Randall wins it superbly. Comes out. Penalaric here. Cannot lose the ball now. Steadman stayed up. Good shape on that ball. Oh! Wharton. Oh, Buckley back post. Great defending in there. I think it was Smith with the challenge. A good block by Jewel, who looks like he's just completely empty in terms of energy. He's limping a little bit. A good block, but he's unlucky. It's gone out for a goal kick. West Ham celebrated it like it was a goal. It's as good as at this stage of the game. We're into the last minute, surely. Morrissey's kick, decent contact. Story of a good header. Pick up just losing out there for Chelsea, but they've got the ball back. It's a throw. another good win in there. Chelsea just putting on the pressure, but they need to fashion a chance somehow. They need to get an opportunity on goal.
They've not got many left, Tom. They've got to do something now.
Here it comes, a big throw. It's high, it's going to be difficult to deal with. Story half looking for a penalty there with the nudge. There's a full-time whistle. It's finished here at Cobham. Chelsea Foundation 0, West Ham United 1. A controversial game, John, where do we start? But first of all, what a fantastic achievement for West Ham.
Absolutely. Probably on merit. Defensively, incredibly resolute. Looked good on the counter-attack. Chelsea just couldn't conjure up enough chances to really test the goalkeeper. What a controversial second half. Really stop-start, never really got going. But West Ham's game management saw them through.
Yeah, it certainly was a stop-start second half, and it probably suited West Ham because that spell of the stop-start kind of began at the end of a good spell for Chelsea. Ultimately, did we just need to see more from Chelsea in the final third?
Yeah, a little bit. You had to say Walton was a little bit isolated at the top. They did go a little bit more direct, but again, they're just losing the aerial battle. They are unfortunate, really unfortunate. They've left absolutely everything on the pitch, worked so hard, and really didn't deserve to lose.
I mean, there's a few big performances out there, John. We got Story at the back for Chelsea, who got involved in one or two incidents, I suppose, but overall had a really solid game. His opposite number, if you like, Randall, and his partner in crime, Hegarty, at the back for West Ham was superb as well. And there were some really good performances in attack. I suppose you're tasked with the responsibility of naming who might take the award for man of the match. How did you see that?
Well, despite he was at the height of controversy in the second half, and I would say, despite the controversial penalty and the missed penalty, I still have to go for Gilbert. He was fantastic in that first half. He was absolutely everywhere. Fantastic goal as well in the first half. Really dictated that midfield. And I think it's a worthy man of the match.
Yeah, agreed. A superb performance from minute 1 to 105 or however much we ended up there. Yeah, deserved winner. I mean, you go back to the penalty incidents. He scored one. How much of an effect do you think the incident after putting the first one away affected the second one?
Well, perhaps it mind games, isn't it? I suppose he's mentally shot. You can tell just by, I think, his approach. He's absolutely leathered it. Wasn't really taking much chance, and shows the fact you could take nothing away from the goalkeeper. What a save! But hindsight's a wonderful thing. Doesn't really matter. West Ham are now the champions, 1-0. Congratulations to them.
Absolutely, and it's been a real journey. I covered the semi-final I was at the semi-final, West Ham v Fulham, and Fulham were outstanding that day, particularly in the first half. But I think the same approach that they had for this game kind of got them through that day. That hard work, the tenacity of their front line to defend from the front, with the energy that they do it with, and no shortage of quality either. There's some really good performances out there today. But I think that's eventually what probably got them over the edge today. Not a goal fest by any means, a cagey affair, and probably on balance the right result.
Absolutely. I think just going back to the goal fest, you look at the two centre forwards for West Ham, Kai Weston and Brandon Wood. Didn't get many chances, but they worked so hard off the ball. They never let the Chelsea centre halves settle on the ball. Work ethic from first to last. They held the ball up so well, and they're unsung heroes, if you like. Done their bit for the team. Goals didn't come their way today, but incredible work ethic, and that's more or less got them the win, just as much as the defenders in defence who's heading them balls left, right and centre.
I suppose you don't mind too much if goals aren't coming your way on a day where you pick up a winner's medal in the cup final, right? With the point you make about not letting the Chelsea defence settle in possession, there was a real difference observed today in that when we've seen them previously, their centre-halves like to get on the ball. They like to step in and join in and combine and overload midfield areas. And today we didn't see that, mainly due to the pressure they're being put under and the intensity of the defence of the front line of West Ham, but also the midfield unit as well. Incredibly organised today. So, both teams now just catching a breather. Obviously completely different atmospheres in the two camps. Great way to finish the season for West Ham. Unfortunate for Chelsea. Obviously, a credit to them, even if they don't leave with a winner's medal, they put in a fantastic performance today, and it's a great achievement to get to the final itself as well. Just going to focus in a little bit on the West Ham team here.
Oh, you were a fantastic supporter. Sorry? Yeah, I am right there. I know. It doesn't matter though. Whatever, right or wrong, you can't. There's a certain way you behave if someone makes the right or right decision. That's funny.
Incredible scenes here at Cobham, West Ham, spraying that bottle of bubbly. I hope it wasn't too expensive. Great scenes here. Whereas on the opposite side, a dejected Chelsea side, we worked incredibly hard.
So, presentation for first of all the runners-up medals about to start, and then obviously the winners' medals for West Ham. Great scenes on the pitch there. West Ham celebrating their victory, and a great way to end a long season. Just a couple of players, understandably, John, just getting a little bit of treatment for cramp and fatigue and that sort of thing on a warm day as it is, and a dry pitch that they were playing on. Lovely surface, but a warm day like this, pitch dried out. Really important that the players recover properly and kind of take good care of themselves, right?
Oh, absolutely. There is time for celebration, as we've just seen. Fantastic jubilant scenes, but they do need to stretch out. They've left absolutely everything onto that pitch. Injury is a very common factor in sport, and therefore they do need to recover properly. But what a fantastic team, defensively incredibly organised, always looked a threat. Congratulations to them.
Just interestingly, as we're having a discussion about avoiding injury, as two mini fights breaking out in the West Ham group there, which is the commentator's curse, obviously. So. Got Louise Macy of the National Football Youth League just setting out the trophies and medals at the moment. And Louise herself works tirelessly across the country with teams from all, I believe, 8 leagues that the National Football Youth League has to support them both in terms of their football side of their programmes and their academic side of their programmes as well. So great to have her here today. To present the awards to the respective teams. So, Louise Macy of the league presenting the first award today, the man of the match. Kane Gilbert, the goal scorer, as identified by our very own John Hope, taking home the man of the match award. A brilliant performance defensively. Broke up play really, really well. Got his team playing really well. Popped up with the all-important goal in the first half. Fantastic finish that it was, and was just a key part of everything good West Ham did today. Awards now for the officials. A challenging day at the office, John, for the officials. No quiet Fridays there.
They've had their work cut out today. To be fair, well done to them. Tough conditions, high emotions everywhere.
Indeed. And I know it's a classic one, but you're never going to have a game without the referees, are you?
Who'd want to be a referee?
And rightly so, Louise Macy congratulating Chelsea on a great performance. Mentioning one or two individuals in there, but you can mention quite a few. They worked really hard, competed really well, but one team's got to lose, I suppose, John.
Absolutely. As I said, they've left everything out there. They're all shattered. Obviously dismayed by the end result. They should hold their heads up high. Work really hard. They've worked really well. Notable mentions to Story at centre half. Thought he was excellent. Led the team really well. Walton up front. Isolated at times, but just worked his socks off working them channels, trying to stretch the West Ham defence. And yeah, it's not their day, but they'll come back bigger and stronger. Academia comes first as well. Hopefully they get their results. I'm sure they've all got bright futures ahead.
Absolutely. And just as much as it is for West Ham, it's the end of a long, hard season for Chelsea as well. So this Chelsea team in particular, based down at Truro College. So whenever they have an away game, it's a hell of an away day. So a well-earned couple of months rest for them.
Not a pretty journey. Not a pretty journey.
And up come the West Ham Foundation team now to collect their winners' medals. Two very different games we've seen over the last two Trophy Cup finals. We had the goal fest at Burton last year. This one a completely different type of game. No less incident packed and no less quality on it either. It was a really, really good game and a great way for these players to start their summer with a winner's medal, and just like Chelsea, a well-earned couple of months off now. Just hope they got enough medals, John.
Do we get one?
I think maybe we should.
I think so.
Well, maybe you.
Not me. You're too modest.
One or two players there perhaps didn't get off the bench, not involved in the match day squad, but have contributed throughout the season. So really nice that everyone's getting the recognition they deserve. So Jaden Randall, the last player up to receive his medal. And as the captain, of course, also gets the privilege of receiving the National Football Youth League trophy.
Yeah, nice sight for Julian Gibbs as well as he works under them.
And there we go. West Ham United, 2018-19 National Football Youth League trophy winners.